Alright, so the last video that I did was the before, and now we're going to show you the after. I was going to use a mountain bike for this. You'll probably see why, but that'll have to wait. But if anyone's got a mountain bike, four-wheel drive or a drone, then this would be quite a cool way of showing you the property. So you can see this area is flat now. There's a driveway that goes down, and I'll show you that in a minute. But on the left-hand side, you'll now see the house slab. Giant, probably about 65 meters from where I'm standing to the fence, so a lot of room to build the house, and a whole lot of space from the left, from the masses of topsoil on the left to the topsoil abundant on the right. The electricity, we've got a builder's box right on the left hand side, and that should be hooked up and turned on in the next couple of days apparently. So now we go on this side, and like I said, we've got a driveway now, so that comes down. A bit of drainage, actually a lot of drainage under the driveway for some of the rain, and also to protect this building slab. You can see it's flat and we get a great view of the mountain all the way back. There is a water tank, and the water's hooked up, ready to go. And as we go down here, there's giant rectangle. So the rectangle is currently a car park on the left hand side, soon to have a lot of sheds, some temporary, some permanent. And on the right hand side is a big area which ended up bigger than we thought it was going to be. So it's about 15 meters by 20 meters, so really good space to put some fence around. We're getting that sand flattened in the next couple of days, and this is going to be a horse arena for Haley's pony and anyone else's pony who brings them along. So we're going to keep the drainage on that side, put some fences around that, and use that as a training area. As I said, where the motorhome's parked, we've got this huge flat area for eventually a big shed, a lot of space, container for our staff, other storage sheds and different workspaces. And on this side, this will eventually have stairs coming down from where the house is, permanent stairs down to the bottom, and there's a lot of topsoil that they've moved around. We asked them to build it up here and keep it, so in the short term we'll put some gardens on it, and in the long term we can chip into it when we start to do the planting around the house. So we walk past here, and the bund that I'm walking towards is between us and the mountain, so over winter time we're going to keep this there as a wind barrier that'll cut the southerly and stop it from hitting the motorhome full on, and then eventually we'll put that down and maybe have some decking for an entertainment area. And down here we now have a giant driveway coming down. So from the deer fence to the left, there's a big driveway, definitely wide enough for anywhere from a quad bike to a cattle truck, and there's a slope, quite a gentle slope, up that we can put some grasses, shrubs, natives on in the short term, and trees in the long term. This gets a lot of sun. It does cut into the amount of space we have at the top, but like I said, we've got plenty of space for sheds, car parks and a horse arena, so we're not complaining. And now we can come down, and this winds all the way down. There's some giant sinkholes that they've dug, soak holes, at different parts just to cut the water speed and stop it from eroding the banks. But this sweeps all the way around to the left, and on the far left, or in the middle of the picture at the moment, is a nice even flat space that we can use for a hay barn or a work shed or extra storage in the long term. Further on from that, if we're in a four-wheel drive or a quad bike or even a mountain bike, hint hint, we can go all the way around to the other side of the property. There's not too much of a slope and not too many ruts to get trapped in. But you can see down the bottom, just to the right of the conservation area at the bottom, they've dug there, put a little bit of extra drainage, and that's a nice smooth area up to the paddock there. You can see this giant holes in the water trough that didn't survive the journey from the top to the bottom. It's pretty old, but that is apparently fixable, maybe. And yeah, there is some erosion. You can see pretty clearly here. We don't get mud in Taupo, we get a lot of topsoil, ash, sand and large slabs of pumice. So that means there's a bit of erosion, but apparently if we are quite quick in putting grass on it, some natives, some climbers and creepers and shrubs and eventually trees, then that will cut down. But we've got some big soak holes here for dealing with that problem. So yeah, that's it. Huge changes. We wanted to do it all at once. So now we can start really doing the focusing on the house, landscape around the house, and from this point of view we can order some trees in and start the planting, so we don't have to get the bulldozers back for a while, if ever, maybe a couple of diggers once we figure out exactly where we're going to put the house. But apart from that, it is looking amazing.